You carry within your blood the echoes of 1,000 winters. A history of storms that tried to bend your family tree until it broke. Beneath the surface of your conscious mind, deep roots are shifting, untangling themselves from the bitter soil of those who came before you today. You are the one the forest has been waiting for. The seed that refused to wither, despite the drought of love in your lineage's past. Long ago, a silent agreement was made in the shadows of your ancestry. A vow of struggle that you were never meant to carry. The heaviness in your chest is not your own failure, but the weight of 1,000 unwept tears falling from the branches of history. I speak to you as the earth speaks to the rain, recognizing the ancient soul that has finally decided to bloom in this desert. Close your eyes and feel the pulse of the earth beneath your feet, for you are the bridge between the old rot and new life. There is a profound purpose in your presence here, a sacred mission to rewrite the genetic code of despair into a psalm of hope. Child of the stars and the soil, you are not a mistake of nature, but the ultimate evolution of a long and tired line. Before you walk further into this revelation, I invite you to breathe with me, drawing strength from the deep, cool places of the world. Take a slow breath through your nose, imagining you are drawing golden light from the center of the earth into your tired, aching bones. Hold that breath for a moment, letting the stillness of the ancient woods settle into your heart, calming the frantic rhythm of your anxious thoughts. As you exhale, imagine the gray smoke of inherited sorrow leaving your body, returning to the ground to be composted into something entirely new. Repeat this 3 times, feeling your body become a sturdy trunk, unshakable and grounded in the truth of your own divine and holy existence. You have spent your life feeling like an outsider in your own home, a strange bird singing a song that no one else understood. This isolation was not a punishment from the heavens, but a necessary sanctuary to protect the unique medicine you were born to carry. If you had fit in, you would have been consumed by the same shadows that swallowed the light of those who came before your time. Your difference is your greatest defense, a holy barrier that kept your spirit pure while the world around you tried to dim your light. I see the scars you hide beneath your bark, the marks of seasons where you had to survive on nothing but your own inner fire. You are being summoned now to a higher clearing, a place where the air is thin and the light is unfiltered and blindingly pure. The forest is quiet, holding its breath as you realize that the cycle of pain ends the moment you decide to look it in the eye. You are the architect of a new kingdom, the one who will plant the seeds of peace in the clearings where once only ghosts wandered. Take heart, for the ancestors who walked in light are standing behind you, a silent army of grandmothers and grandfathers cheering for your coming. Their love is the sap rising in your veins, a warm current of grace that is washing away the bitterness of every old, ancestral wound. The winter of the soul is a long and lonely season, where the ground is frozen and the stars seem distant and cold as ice. You have known nights so dark that you forgot the sun ever existed, wandering through the thickets of your own mind without a single lamp. In these shadows, the voices of the past whisper the loudest, telling you that you are destined to repeat the mistakes of your kin. They speak of scarcity, of the inevitability of loss, and the lie that you are fundamentally broken and beyond the reach of any repair. This is the dark night of the bloodline, the moment where the inherited trauma reaches its peak and demands to be felt and finally seen. You felt the cold creep into your joints, the numbness that comes when the heart has been broken too many times to count the pieces. You searched for a way out, but every path seemed to lead back to the same gnarled tree where your ancestors hung their heavy grief. The forest felt like a cage, a labyrinth of briars designed to keep you small and fearful of the vastness of your own hidden power. But listen closely, For in the absolute silence of the deepest night, the roots are doing their most important and sacred work of all. Growth is not always a visible reach for the canopy. Sometimes it is a hidden descent into the truth of who you really are. Imagine you are standing in a forest at midnight, and you feel the rough bark of a giant oak tree beneath your steady, warm palms. Visualize the cold, gray energy of your family's oldest fears leaving your heart and flowing through your arms into the ancient, waiting tree. The tree is strong enough to hold it, its roots deep enough to neutralize the poison that has been circulating in your spirit for years. Feel the relief as the pressure leaves your chest, replaced by a cool, clean emptiness that is ready to be filled with something much better. The rot you found in your family's history is not a sign of your own decay, but the very fertilizer you need to grow high. Aha! Reframe 1. The pain you inherited was never meant to be a prison. It was the nutrient-rich soil prepared for your unique blooming. Without the depth of that darkness, your light would have no contrast, no foundation to anchor the massive shift you are bringing to Earth. You were chosen for this specific bloodline because only a soul of your magnitude could transmute such heavy iron into the purest spiritual gold. The enemy did not plant the trauma. He merely tried to convince you that the soil was too toxic for a flower like you. But he forgot that the most beautiful lilies grow from the thickest mud, and the strongest oaks rise from the oldest, deepest forest floor. Your survival is the proof of your anointing, a living testimony that the light within you is far greater than the dark around you. You have been a captive of a story you did not write, but the pen is being handed to your spirit in this very moment. The shadows are receding now, not because the sun has risen, but because the fire in your own heart has finally begun to burn. Do not fear the smoke of the burning past, for it is only the clearing of the land for the garden you will plant. Have you noticed the way the wind suddenly shifts when you speak your truth? As if the very air is nodding in solemn agreement. The forest is communicating with you through the language of synchronicity, leaving patterns in the fallen leaves that only your soul can read. You see the number sequences, the repetitive birds, the sudden scent of flowers in a room where no blossoms should ever be able to grow. These are not accidents of the mind, but the deliberate trail markers left by the ancestors who have already found their way to peace. They are signaling to you that you are on the right track, that the path is opening even when your eyes see only thicket. A single hawk circling above is a message that you must gain a higher perspective on the drama that currently surrounds your life. The way the light hits the water in your glass is a reminder that the divine is present in the most mundane of moments. You are being tracked by grace, hunted by a blessing that refused to let you go even when you tried to hide away. Every coincidence is a kiss from the unseen realm, a gentle tap on the shoulder to remind you that you are never alone. The trees are whispering your name in a frequency that bypasses the ego and lands directly in the softest part of your heart. As you walk through your day, find one natural object, a stone, a leaf, or a piece of wood, and hold it in your hand. Close your eyes and feel the age of the object, realizing that it has survived seasons and storms just as you have survived your past. Carry this token in your pocket as a physical anchor, a reminder that the world is supporting you in ways you cannot yet see. When you feel the weight of the old story returning, touch the object and remember that you are as enduring as the very earth itself. The signs you are seeing are the universe's way of verifying that your internal shift is manifesting in the physical world around you today. They appear when your frequency begins to match the frequency of the promise, acting as a bridge between the unseen and the seen. Do not overanalyze them with your logical mind, for the mind is a creature of the past, while the spirit is a pioneer. Simply acknowledge them with a smile of recognition, a silent thank you that opens the door for even more miracles to come through. You have been looking for a grand entrance, but the divine often enters through the back door of a quiet, unexpected, and simple moment. Watch for the person who says exactly what you needed to hear, the book that falls open to the perfect page of your life. The forest does not shout its growth. It unfolds in a steady, relentless, and beautiful rhythm that cannot be stopped by any human hand. Your life is unfolding in that same rhythm, a masterpiece of timing that was orchestrated before the first star was ever breathed into existence. Believe in the whispers, for they are the precursors to the thunderous roar of the breakthrough that is currently standing at your very door. The atmosphere is changing because you have finally stopped resisting the flow of the river that is carrying you toward your ultimate destiny. The great spirit of the woods is calling your name from the center of the grove, a sound that vibrates in your very marrow. This is the summons to leave the shallow woods of your comfort zone and enter the deep, sacred forest where true power is found. You are being called to put down the shields you built to survive your childhood, for they have become the walls of your own prison. The ancestors are asking you to stand tall, to reveal the fullness of your branches and the reach of your vast and brilliant soul. This call is not a demand for perfection, but an invitation to authenticity, a request for you to finally be who you were made. You have been hiding your brilliance because you were taught that being seen was dangerous, a lesson learned from the wounds of your kin. But the forest needs your specific light to illuminate the dark corners where the others are still lost and wandering in their own fear. You are a torchbearer, a wayfinder, the one who carries the map of the heart written in the language of light and holy fire. The calling is not something you do. It is something you are, a state of being that transforms everyone who enters your sacred energy field. Listen to the silence between my words, for that is where the true call resides, in the wordless space where God speaks to you. Imagine you are standing in a circle of ancient trees, and each tree represents a generation of your family that has finally found their peace. One by one, they step forward and place a crown of woven ivy and starlight upon your head, acknowledging you as the chosen cycle breaker. Feel the weight of this crown, not as a burden, but as a recognition of your sovereignty and your right to lead your own life. Stand as tall as you can, lifting your chin and allowing the light of the sun to hit your face in this sacred inner grove. You have been practicing self-protection dressed as wisdom, a subtle form of emotional insurance that keeps you from ever being fully hurt or seen. Aha, Reframe 2. Your reluctance to step into your power is not humility. It is a hidden agreement with the shadows of your ancestors' fears. By staying small, you are not honoring those who suffered. You are merely continuing the tradition of their suppression and their long-held, quiet pain. To truly honor your lineage, you must become the most vibrant, successful, and joyful version of yourself that has ever lived in your line. Your joy is the greatest revenge against the darkness that tried to extinguish the flame of your family's potential so many, many years ago. The call is asking you to abandon the safety of the shore and trust the deep currents of your own intuition and your divine guidance. You are not walking into the unknown alone. You are walking into a future that was already prepared for you by the hands of grace. The path ahead is not a struggle to be won, but a ceremony to be performed with every breath and every step you take today. The call is urgent, but it is also patient. A steady pulse that will not stop until you finally turn toward the light of truth. You are the answer to a prayer that was whispered by a great-grandmother you never met, a woman who dreamed of your freedom. The sap is rising within you now, a warm and golden liquid fire that is thawing the ice of your long-standing and frozen grief. You can feel the tingle in your fingertips, the sudden rush of energy in your heart as the old walls begin to crumble and fall. This is the awakening of the dormant seed, the moment where the internal pressure becomes so great that the shell of the ego breaks. You are realizing that the person you thought you were, the victim, the struggler, the lonely one, was only a costume you wore for safety. Beneath the mask is a face of radiant power, a being of infinite worth who is connected to the source of all life and love. The awakening is not a quiet event. It is a seismic shift that rearranges the very atoms of your reality into a new pattern. You are seeing through the illusions of the world, recognizing the games of fear and the traps of unworthiness for what they truly are. The forest is singing a new song, a melody of victory that echoes through the valleys and over the mountain peaks of your life. You are no longer a leaf blown by the wind. You have become the wind itself, a force of nature that cannot be contained. The awakening is the realization that you have always had the keys to the kingdom tucked away in the pocket of your soul. Find the place in your body where you feel the most tension, perhaps your shoulders, your jaw, or the pit of your heavy, tight stomach. Place both hands over this area and whisper the words, "I give you permission to bloom," letting the warmth of your hands melt the ice. Visualize a green vine growing from this spot, uncurling with beautiful leaves and small, white flowers that represent your new and emerging life. Breathe into this growth, feeling the space expand until you feel light enough to float above the concerns of your current and temporary day. The waiting you have endured was not a delay from God, but a necessary incubation period for the power you are now finally manifesting. Aha! Reframe 3. Your stalling was actually the roots growing deep enough to support the massive canopy of the life you are about to lead. Partial faith produces partial manifestation. But today, you are moving into the 111% conviction that the promise is already yours in full. You are no longer asking for permission to be great. You are simply occupying the greatness that was already woven into your very spiritual DNA. The world will try to pull you back into the old story, but you have become a different species of soul, one that cannot live in cages. The awakening is a one-way door. Once you see the truth of your divine nature, you can never truly go back to sleep again. You are the master of your own garden, the one who decides which thoughts will grow and which will be weeded out of your mind. The sap of the divine is flowing through you, bringing life to the areas that were dead and color to the areas that were gray. Wake up, beloved child of the forest. For the dawn has finally arrived, and the shadows are nothing but a memory of the night. Your power is not a weapon to be feared, but a tool to be used for the healing of yourself and the world around you. The clearing is before you now, a wide expanse of emerald grass and golden light where the path becomes clear and easy to follow. You are walking with a new stride, a rhythm of confidence that comes from knowing exactly who you are and whose you are today. The path is not a straight line, but a beautiful winding trail that leads you through the gardens of your own manifesting dreams and desires. You are planting new trees with every word you speak, creating a legacy of love that will shade the generations who come after you. The struggle of the past has been replaced by the flow of the present, a state of ease where everything you need arrives. You are attracting the right people, the right opportunities, and the right resources as if you were a magnet for the divine and holy. The path is illuminated by your own inner light, a glow that emanates from your chest and lights the way for 3 steps ahead. You do not need to see the end of the road. You only need to trust the step you are taking in this sacred moment. The forest is your ally, providing you with everything you need, the fruit for your hunger and the clear water for your deep thirst. You are the king or queen of this new territory, ruling with a heart of compassion and a mind of absolute and unwavering clarity. Take a piece of paper and write down 3 things that the new you does every day. Simple acts of joy, peace, or creative expression. Commit to doing these things for the next 7 days, treating them as sacred rituals that anchor your new path into the physical world. As you do them, say to yourself, "I am walking the path of the chosen," and feel the truth of those words in your bones. This is not a chore, but a celebration of your arrival in the promised land of your own heart and your own beautiful destiny. You have been living in a hidden agreement with delay, believing that the good things must always be far off or difficult to attain. But on this new path, you are breaking that contract and signing a new one that declares your immediate and effortless access to all good. Abundance is not a reward for your hard work. It is the natural state of a soul that has finally aligned with the source. You are learning to receive with the same grace that the trees receive the rain, without question and without the poison of unworthiness. The path is widening because you have stopped trying to squeeze through the narrow gates of other people's expectations of your life and soul. You are walking in the majesty of your own truth, a journey that is unique to you and yet connected to the heart of all. The clearing is not the end of the journey. It is the beginning of the real work, the work of living as a fully realized being. Every step you take is a prayer of gratitude, a song of praise for the way the universe has conspired to bring you home. The path is soft beneath your feet, and the air is sweet with the scent of the flowers that you are finally allowing to bloom. You are the pioneer of a new way of being, showing the world that it is possible to transform the deepest rot into the highest beauty. Stand now in the center of your life and look back at the forest you have traversed, seeing the beauty even in the dark thickets. You are the sum of all your seasons, the winter of waiting, the spring of awakening, the summer of blooming, and the autumn of harvest. Never forget that you are made of the same starlight that birthed the galaxies and the same earth that holds the ancient mountain ranges steady. You are a divine masterpiece in progress, a soul that is expanding with every beat of your heart and every breath of your lungs. The ancestors are silent now, for their work is done and they are resting in the peace that you have finally brought to the line. You are the living flame, the one who carries the light of the divine into the future, a beacon of hope for all who see you. The forest will always be there to hold you, to remind you of your roots and to encourage your reach for the infinite and holy sky. You are chosen, not because you are perfect, but because you are willing to walk through the fire and come out as pure, refined gold. Your story is no longer a tragedy of the past, but an epic myth of triumph, a legend that will be told by the stars. Peace is your inheritance. Joy is your natural state. And love is the very fabric of your being and your eternal, holy soul. Before you go, I want you to make a sacred seal upon this moment by doing one final act of physical and spiritual commitment. Place your right hand on your heart and your left hand on your belly, connecting the center of your feeling with the center of your power. Whisper the number sequence 333, a code of alignment that signals to the universe that your mind, body, and spirit are now one. Feel the surge of energy that comes from this alignment, a quiet roar of certainty that tells you the work is truly and finally finished. You are now the guardian of your own light. Go forth and shine with a brilliance that can never be dimmed by any storm. The forest is within you, child, and you are the forest. You have arrived home.